All right. Let me see if there's anything else that we're missing. Is there anything that I missed in the last 4 days? Anything that I should know about that's been going on? Because usually I come back and there's something going on.
No, I mean, no, just the AEW pay-per-view was Saturday night. A lot of conversation about that.
Right. I didn't see that. Did you guys see it?
I saw most of it. Yeah.
Did you, DI?
Did we see what now?
AEW.
Saturday night, yeah.
No, I saw a highlight. No, I did not watch that.
I haven't.
Right.
I haven't
I saw
seen
some of the clips.
Yeah, I haven't seen Moxley versus Omega yet, which has been sort of controversial because it was very violent. So, but I have not seen it yet. I did see.
Bro, I read this thing where it was like I was reading like a rundown of AEW show, and it was, I think I might have been reading it on Meltzer's website for some reason, and it said I don't know if this is a woman or a guy. I think the name's Arya or something like that, who writes for Meltzer, and was like, yeah, I've been watching wrestling for 25 years, and this was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. This was the most, over the top, too much violent. I'll never watch it. I was like, what a snowflake. It's like there's no way that these people are doing anything compared to like what they're doing like in these real hardcore organizations like GCW.
It sounds like it was pretty close. Because anything you could think of was in there. The barbed wire,
because here's the thing.
glass,
you understand that Moxley cut his, basically, he wrestled in CZW for years.
Yeah.
I didn't know
so that was like a throwback to him in CZW doing the deathmatch stuff.
Right, and I didn't know that.
They thought that, like, either way, maybe they thought that Moxley convinced him, hey, let's do a CZW type match. And they all like agreed to it. Yeah, that'd be cool. They try to like introduce this part of the product.
Yeah.
And it's just both. It was a 38-minute death match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, right? Like literally, like how many things can you do in a death match? And they said, well, let's just do all of them.
It sounds like they did everything. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I saw. Okay. I was trying to avoid it because I still want to watch the match, but I know I saw like highlights of barbed wire. I'm sure I think there was glass. I'm assuming there was some tacks.
This was so silly. And, he had a board. Like, I saw this GIF or this clip. Kenny had a board, and I guess they glued mouse traps.
Yeah.
To the board. Okay, so picture, Konnan, picture a big, giant board that's probably the size of, like, 2 queen-size beds, right?
Yeah.
And maybe smaller. This is the size of a queen-size bed. Size of a king-size bed, right? And he pulls out a wooden board, and glued to it are probably like 20 mouse traps.
Right.
And like the initial thing you're looking at is like, it's like.
First of all, who originally thought up of this? My favorite part is like who originally thought of that. Let's just
let's get a board full of mouse traps. So literally, they had to go get a board, get 20 mouse traps, and somebody had to glue the mouse traps to the board so they could pull. And like the thing, it was like a reveal.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something that cracks me up about hardcore wrestling. Just the creativity of coming up with shit that you've never thought about before. Like when the very first time I went to Japan, I went to this promotion. It was called Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, FMW.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was Onita, okay?
And Funk used to wrestle too in Cactus Chat.
Yep. This, what do you call it? Tiger Jeet Singh. Yeah.
I think they were there after I was there. Okay. But so then when I went there really early, and I remember watching these matches that I'd never seen before. And then when I went to ECW, I kind of saw it again. But now when you kind of look at like all these things that they have, like, have you seen the guys that when they stick those sticks in the head?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's called.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that, Disco?
That's a lot.
It's like they'll take like 30. They look like long. What would you call it, Joe?
I'm not. Maybe they're like chopsticks.
Chopsticks. That's the biggest chopsticks I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, the long ones. I don't know what they are. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're like long fucking sticks, and they take a whole bunch of them, like 20 or 30 of them, Glenn, and they just stick it in the guy's head, and they all stick in, and then they start like kind of hammering it in with their fist. Okay. And I'm like, where did they find this? How did they come up with this? The other one is like, now they do a lot of shit with light tubes. You know what I'm saying? Well, they'll put guys through light tubes. It's like, who's the first guy that came up with that? glass. Like now in Mexico, they have this new thing is like they get these humongous panes of glass and they just go through them, or they'll get a windshield of a car and they'll go through that. But just the resourcefulness of all the shit they come up with, for hardcore matches, to me is very intriguing. But I would like to tell you the very first time I saw the mousetrap thing you're talking about was when Superhuman threw an elbow on it and it didn't break. Do you remember that? Wait a minute. No,
I don't follow that guy.
Neither do I, but it was on Twitter, and the guy was standing on the steps, and he took off his shirt, and he goes, whoop, whoop, and he fucking hit an elbow drop on a piece of board with mouse traps, and the board didn't break, but he still got clipped by the mouse trap.
So that's where they got that from?
No, that's the first time I've seen it.
They've been around. There's some other funny shit that you see. Like, I know that I've seen guys, you'll take a suplex on some Legos or like little fucking micro machine cars and shit like that. And they're obviously not running out of ideas. So I don't understand why I guess you didn't really need that to have a great match for Moxley versus Omega, right? It seemed like,
bro, I saw this the other day. This freaked me out. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's come up a couple times on Twitter, so I'm sure you have. Glenn, have you seen the one where they put a board? There's a board, okay, with like a pair of scissors on it. And so the guy puts the board on the other guy, and he comes running, and I think he drop kicks the board into him, and the scissors get stuck in his throat, and he takes him out. Geez. Have you seen that?
It sounds familiar. Yeah. I think I saw it, yeah.
That's fucking wild.